How's it going, everyone? Joseph here, co-founder and CEO of Core Trading Systems. Today, we're going to be discussing how we made our client $45,000 last month. We're going to be covering everything from the trades we took, how long did it take us to build these portfolios on a weekly basis. We're going to be diving into Discord where you can see our week by week projections and actual results every single week of May. So you can actually see the results as they were happening in real time. We're also going to dive into my FX book, into one of the accounts, so you can actually see these trades into the client's account, so you can see the trajectory. I'm also going to be discussing one of the backstories of how did we actually get to this point and how did we able to manage and basically save this client's account. So we're going to be discussing a lot of things, and at the end, I'm going to give you a little taste of how easy was it to select these portfolios on a week-to-week basis. You know, how much time did we spend figuring out what strategies, what pairs we were going to trade and all that. So all of that we're going to dive into this video. So without further ado, let's get right into it. All right, so these are the current facts and the stats. All right, so on May last month, 2025, we did 8.4% on one of our accounts. Right, so we were trading gold. The strategy, we were doing a trend pullback range strategy. So we did a combination of all the strategies we have, and then we divided them into different sections. So for New York, we were doing trend. For London, we were doing pullbacks. For Tokyo and Sydney, we might have been doing range, right? And then after doing every single portfolio, the analysis was that every single time we were doing it, all these portfolios were under 4 max consecutive losses. That means that the worst the portfolio saw in our testing based on our tools was under 4 consecutive losses. Now, if we scroll down here, these are just some quick facts. So this right here on the right, we can see a balance of $108,448.83. That is basically our master account that we created in order to copy the trades to our client's account. So you can see that right here, we started at 100,000 around May 5th, and we were able to grow that all the way until May 29th, all the way for 8.4%. Now, right here on the left, you're going to see this was the MT5 account that we were using. This is just shows you the trades, and you can see the last week was pretty strong, and we actually didn't do that well. We ended up netting, I think, around 1.5%, which is not bad. It just looks a little bit too red. But if you look at the wins, you're going to be able to see these are 3% wins, 1.5% wins, 2.6% wins, which actually balance out all the 400, minus 900 trades. So you can see right here at the bottom, we ended with a profit of 9.5% for the month. And then minus the commissions and the swaps, we ended up at 8.4%. So we're here right now on Discord, and this is a channel on the Core Trading Systems Discord where you can see where we post our weekly portfolios. And this is specifically is a copy trade section where we actually just put the portfolios we're going to run on some of the clients' account. If you also want to see the users' performance and results, we also have a portfolio for the week where people start posting their portfolios they're going to be running for the next week. So you can see here, people are just creating some great portfolios with a very low drawdown. We also have a weekly roundup where we go and share our profits. So you can see here, this guy made 3.7% last week. Right here, 2.4%. We also have here for the full month, we got 14% trading gold. We only trade gold and euro dollar, but these are some of our members' results right here. And you can scroll and find all these results. You can see right here, 6% for the week. So yeah, we got some really insane results. So again, this is all on our Discord, free to join, link below. So anyways, getting back to this, we can see here that this was our first portfolio for the month of May for our client. You can see here that we have a relatively nice equity curve, right? So again, all we're looking at here is nice equity curve, and that our max consecutive losses is relatively low to the risk and to the balance and profits we're seeing, right? So we can see here, right here, the first week wasn't that good, right? So you can see these were the trades for that week. We have a lot of red. We also have some big chunks of profit, but you can see we ended the week at a negative 1.8%, right? A lot of people right here will be discouraged. They'll be rethinking and just kind of like not trusting the system anymore, right? But we've done this for so long that we're already so sure, and we trust our data so much that we just keep going. This is part of the business. This is trading after all, right? You're going to have good weeks. You're going to have bad weeks, great weeks, great months, regular months, bad months, break even months. So you just got to get used to that because this is trading after all. The second week, we created our second new portfolio. We can see here, really nice equity curve. Our max consecutive losses is way down, all the way from 5 all the way to 2. So now we're looking really pretty on that sense. And then these are the results for the second week. We can see here that we ended the week at 3.6%, which we recovered last week losses, and then we made a little bit more, right? So the third week, this was our portfolio. 4 max consecutive losses. Again, equity curve looking nice. All of these results are all generated by our software or automated systems, which just gives you these results. You know, these are the results you can expect to see when you're running our software. So they're pretty easy to spot. So here we go. On the third week of May, we did a whopping 5.9%. This is where we really started leveling up that equity curve, and we start making our client a lot of money, right? As you can see, our risk to reward ratio is what makes the difference here. You can see a lot of 1.5s, 2.5s, 3.5s, and that's what makes a difference. We're only risking $1,000, so 1%, and we're targeting a lot higher than that. So it doesn't matter if you have 3, 4 losses. If you have 1 win with 4%, you're back to break even. So always be aware of that. And then the last week was not that great either, but you can see here our equity curve still looking pretty nice as usual. Max consecutive losses under 3, and then we can see here that we did 1.5% for the week. So that puts us at a whopping 8.4 for the whole month, which is what I shared here. Now, we're going to dive into my FX book, and we're going to look at this client's account, and we're going to be able to see what happened, how much money they made, and also what was the history of this account. So you can see here, I am on my FX book on the client's biggest account. The client has 2 accounts. He has one big account, and then he has a smaller account. Both accounts are real money. You can see up here, it says real. So we're going to dive into this. So the story behind this, to make it short, basically, he was using an EA, one of those plug-and-place EA. As you can see, ever since the beginning of time in January, this gave him a run, right? So as I usually say, plug-and-play EAs, right? They give you a good run for your money, right? You spend $1,000, you spend whatever money it is that you spend on it, and then you can see the growth on the first month. It went all the way over to 7%. So obviously, things are looking nice. I'm excited. I'm making money. And then things took a hit after that. You can see that after February, things started going down after that. You can see it was just very bad. And you can see the equity curve just going down, down, down. Now he approached us at the end of April, and that's when we made agreements to actually trade this account. And you can see here that by the time in May, this is when we took over the account around May 10th, and then we started trading it. It was down a lot of money back then. And you can see here, as soon as we took over the account, we took the account over all the way from here, all the way to here, right? So we grew it pretty much. If we switch to the balance, we're going to be able to see. So we took it around May 12th, May 14th. So you can see that the balance was $315,000. And then at the end of May, when we stopped trading it, we went all the way to $362,000, netting a profit of around $45,000, which is insane, right? Because if you look at this equity curve, right, this is when you try your luck with plug and play EA and then nothing happens, and then you just keep trying to buy new ones, nothing happens, and then guess what? It just keeps getting worse, right? And then you actually find a system that works, and then now you start seeing real progress, right? That's typical behavior of someone that it's looking for that magic plug and play EA. Again, it does not exist. We know that. I've said this a million times, but I just want to get it engraved in your brain. So now we're going to jump into the smaller account. This is a $25,000 account, and you can see that if we scroll down here, we're going to see that for the month of May, we did that 8.5% on this account. With slippage and all that from the copy trading, it's a little bit more, but it's about the same, right? So we still are up 8.5%. So that means that for the month of May, we took the account all the way from $25,000. You can see all the way to $28,000. So about $3,200, which is really, really good. Again, this is hands off, not really doing anything. And you can see right now we're in a little bit of drawdown, but I mean, as expected, you can see we had 2 really bad days, but now we recovered with a 4% day. So again, trading, we're going to be going like this, right? But as long as it's steady going up, that's all that matters. And with our proven track record of 2 years, this is just expected. And here you can see some of the actual trade logs from the $25,000 account. You can see the deposit here for $25,000. A few trades, you can see the losses: 125, 137, 247, but wins are the big ones. We got $376 win, 299, 229, right? 230. Again, the risk to reward ratio is really important because we're only risking 1%, but if we're targeting 2, 3, 4, 5%, then it doesn't matter how many losses we take. As long as one trade or two trades recover all of those, then you're good. And that's the way we do things. We target higher targets. That way, when we do lose a lot of times in a row, we're able to recover that pretty quickly. Now, this is the software that made all that possible. As you can see here, this is just a core trading system, automation system, and this is all very simple and quick. All we did every single week when we were trying to do a portfolio for our client was we were just going in here, we're linking our data folder, which is pretty straightforward, and then we're adding the strategies we want to test for that week. So right here, I'm gonna show you this folder that we actually include when you join Core. And again, sorry, in the background, the MT5 test is happening right now. I'm actually doing some testing for our portfolio next week. So that's what you're seeing in the background, MT5 opening and closing. So it's a good representation of what you'll expect to see on your end when you start running our software. So anyways, we give you this whole folder. It has all the strategies. Again, we only trade euro, dollar, gold, and sometimes US30. So in this folder, you're going to find all the strategies for euro, dollar that have been working, and you're going to find all the US30 strategies and all the gold strategies that are working. So all you're really going to do when you get that folder is you're going to link it in this section right here, and then you're just going to hit start. Now that's going to start a whole process. So it's going to be similar to the process you're seeing on the screen right now running in the background. That's what it's doing. Basically, it goes through a 7-layer system where it actually back tests, forward tests, out of sample tests. It filters a lot of data, and then it retests all that data. So it's about 7 steps of data filtering. We run it every single Friday, and that's how we're able to achieve these consistent results. And that's how we're able to find these portfolios that just work, right? Because the system is doing everything for us. All we're in charge in is on Saturdays, we just sit down, read the data, and just make a portfolio. That should take you around 10 to 20 minutes, and then you're set all the way until next Friday. So all this process is very easy and very straightforward. And again, that's how we were able to make our client $45,000 last month. And that's how all of our other members on Discord are making kind of the same results. And if you go to our Discord right now, you're going to be able to go into the weekly roundup. You're going to be able to see all the profits people have been having. People have been killing it recently. You can see their weeklies results. You can see people that just started using the system, how much money they're making. And you can also see the portfolios they've been running. Now, all of these things are achievable because we provide you the tools and we explain it to you very clearly, and what to do. It's very easy, very straightforward process, 1, 2, 3 steps, and then you're done. It only takes about 20 minutes of your weekend to achieve these consistent results. So if you're interested, check out the Discord below. We're also offering a 7-day free trial. So if you're interested in joining us and just seeing it for yourself how it works and actually start getting consistent results using automated trading, check out the link below, coretradingsystems.com, and start your 7-day free trial today.